Behind the white picket fences of a Florida suburb, a sinister darkness was brewing. When vibrant young mom Denise Amber Lee vanished one January afternoon, the frantic search exposed cracks in a seemingly idyllic community. Welcome back to Crimescape. Today, we revisit the devastating case that shattered a loving family and left troubling questions in its wake. Michael King's life starkly contrasted with the Lees'. A childhood injury left him with deep emotional scars, altering his behavior and personality. This trauma manifested in aggression and a disconnect from others as he aged. Those familiar with him observed a distinct change post-injury, hinting at the turmoil within. Entering adulthood, King yearned for love and stability. He married, hoping for solace, but his past and altered behavior strained the relationship. The marriage was tumultuous, leading to its eventual collapse when his wife left, deepening King's internal struggles. This personal turmoil set him on a tragic path, eventually intertwining with the lives of Denise and Nathan Lee. The day began with an unsettling atmosphere as Michael King's vehicle was spotted multiple times circling the vicinity of the Lee residence. Neighbors and passersby noted his car, a distinct contrast to the usually peaceful neighborhood. His lingering presence, combined with furtive glances towards the Lees' home, raised suspicions among those who observed him. It was clear that King was not merely passing through. He had a specific intent, and the Lees' house was his focus. Amidst this backdrop, Denise went about her day, unaware of the looming danger. In what would become a heart-wrenching memory, she had a routine call with Nathan. Their conversation was filled with the usual exchanges of love and daily updates. However, shortly after this call, Denise vanished. The silence from her end became increasingly concerning as the hours ticked by. When Nathan returned home, he was met with an eerie silence. The house, usually filled with the laughter and chatter of their children, was unsettlingly quiet. A quick search revealed Denise's absence. Panic set in as he retraced her steps, hoping for some clue. The realization that she was missing was a gut punch, and fear for her safety consumed him. Denise's father, upon hearing of her disappearance, sprang into action. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, he rallied the community and local authorities to initiate an extensive search. Neighbors, friends, and even strangers joined the effort, combing through every possible area where Denise might be. The local police were alerted, and a bolo, be on the lookout, was issued. As the hours passed, the urgency intensified, with everyone hoping against hope to find Denise safe and sound. The community's collective effort was a testament to the impact Denise had on those around her and the desperate need to bring her home. In what would later be recognized as a grave oversight, the teletype machine, a critical communication tool for law enforcement agencies, malfunctioned. This seemingly minor technical glitch had dire consequences. The bolo alerts, which are essential in urgent situations like abductions, were not disseminated to the necessary departments. This meant that while some units were aware of Denise's disappearance and the urgency of the situation, others remained in the dark, leading to a lack of coordinated effort in the initial crucial hours. Sabrina Muxlow, in a state of distress, reached out to the police to relay a chilling account. She spoke of her father's unexpected and alarming encounter with Michael King. Her father had come across King with Denise, who was clearly in distress and against her will. This information was a critical lead, pointing directly to King as the prime suspect. However, due to the earlier communication breakdown, this vital piece of information was not acted upon with the urgency it demanded. In a move that showcased her bravery and presence of mind, Denise managed to make a covert 911 call from the back seat of King's car. Her voice, filled with fear yet determined, provided the dispatcher with clues about her situation and location. However, due to a combination of factors, including background noise and the urgency of the situation, the dispatcher struggled to piece together the full gravity of Denise's plight, leading to delays in pinpointing her exact location. Jane Kowalski, an unsuspecting motorist, became an unexpected eyewitness to Denise's abduction. She noticed a child in the backseat of a car, banging on the window in distress. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, she immediately dialed 911. Her detailed account, which included the car's description, direction, and the child's apparent distress, should have been a significant lead. However, due to the earlier communication lapses, her call did not receive the immediate and coordinated response it warranted. These series of mistakes, each significant in its own right, combined to create a tragic sequence of events. The lack of timely and coordinated action, despite multiple leads and calls for help, highlighted the vulnerabilities in the system and the dire consequences of such oversights. Following intensified investigations, all signs pointed to Michael King. Key information from witnesses, including Sabrina Muxlow and Jane Kowalski, led to his swift apprehension. A search unveiled damning evidence, including Denise's belongings, in King's car. Forensic findings like hair samples further implicated him in Denise's abduction. Detained, King faced rigorous questioning. Despite his initial resistance, the overwhelming evidence cornered him. Determined officers sought details about Denise's location. Consequently, a search warrant was issued for King's properties, aiming to find more evidence and, crucially, Denise. The community's hopes were shattered when Denise's body was found in a shallow grave near King's capture site. The devastating discovery revealed a gunshot wound to her head, indicating a close-range shot. Post-mortem reports suggested she briefly lived post-injury, amplifying the tragedy. This brutal end to Denise's life contrasted her vivacious existence, leaving the community in mourning. The evidence against King was irrefutable, leading to his trial. The community, reeling from Denise's loss, yearned for justice against the monstrous act that took a treasured life. Michael King faced indictment amidst overwhelming evidence. The trial was closely watched, with every detail scrutinized. Prosecutors presented a compelling case showcasing Denise's belongings found in King's car and damning forensic evidence. The testimonies of witnesses, including the chilling accounts of Sabrina Muxlow and Jane Kowalski, further solidified the case against him. The jury, after deliberation, found King guilty. Recognizing the heinous nature of his crime, he was sentenced to death row. The tragedy spotlighted flaws in the 911 system. Criticism mounted as many believed that a more efficient response could have saved Denise. In response, Nathan Lee established the Denise Amber Lee Foundation, advocating for improved 911 operator training. This advocacy led to the Denise Amber Lee Act, introducing optional training for 911 operators in Florida. However, recognizing the need for nationwide change, there's an ongoing push for a federal law mandating training and certification for all emergency dispatchers, ensuring that no other family suffers due to system inefficiencies. The Denise Amber Lee case underscores the critical vulnerabilities in our emergency response systems. Reflecting on the events, one can't help but wonder if different actions could have averted the tragedy. Denise's own 911 call from King's car stands out as a heart-wrenching missed chance, emphasizing the importance of swift and effective emergency responses. Post-tragedy, a wider discourse emerged about the readiness and efficacy of 911 dispatchers. The creation of the Denise Amber Lee Foundation and the subsequent Denise Amber Lee Act marked significant progress. Yet they also spotlighted existing system gaps. The current momentum towards nationwide mandatory training and certification for emergency dispatchers is a proactive step, aiming to prevent future tragedies. Denise's unfortunate demise has spurred change, prompting a re-examination of our emergency response frameworks. Her story is a clarion call for ongoing enhancement, training, and vigilance in our systems to protect countless lives in the future.